Nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong here. Nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong. Hey friends, it's Troy, your hourly flipper here. How you doing? Got a interesting show, I think, for you. What I'm going to do is share some pretty amazing finds that I had at a Goodwill. And I'm so inspired by my love of Goodwill that I want to present you my top 4 reasons why I love Goodwill. Some you would expect, but some I've put a lot of thought into and really want to share some of my experiences and some of my thoughts on why Goodwill is a great place to shop. And that's contrary to what other YouTubers say, but I'll stand behind what I'm about to say. All right? Here's my past week. What you may not know is I go to Goodwill a lot. I love to go at least once a day. And that's because they put out books so often. And you have to be there at just the right time to get the best stuff. Because what is true is that lots of Goodwills are going through a rebranding, and as a result, they're raising their prices. And I'll tell you why about that in just a second, but that is a fact, undisputed, all right? The books, though, it seems from my experience, are not receiving the same scrutiny as other items, the top brands of clothing, the unique finds of hardware that you would see, electronics, for example. So I'm honing in on those books and doubling down, and you'll see that, by George, this visit was a great one. But of the past week, I've been there 3 times so far. The first time took about 20 minutes to find nothing. The second trip took about 20 minutes to find nothing. So I went in again on Wednesday, hoping that something was going to be there. And here's the way it happened. All right. I walked in, went through my usual way down by the games, over to the left to look at the books, and someone was there looking at a video. And that video was Sailor Moon, the movie. And I thought, I would pay $1.59 for that if he doesn't take it. And he looked at it for a while, read the back, and then put it back on the shelf. I walked over immediately and grabbed it and thought, great, that is a good find. And that's true. That's about a $15 video. I paid $1.59. Right beside it, though, was Sailor Moon 2. So both of those were great finds. Let me be nerdy for a second. This is subbed, not dubbed. And if you know anime, you know that that's the cool one. So there you go. So each of those are about $15 each, and I paid $3 in. So I 10x my money, which is great. All right. One other book was right there near the Sailor Moon, and I want to share it. If you have seen past videos, talked about that there is a resurgence of fantasy and horror, but particularly the YA kind of stuff. And this is a YA fantasy book, Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands. All right. It was $1.59 because it was a book just like anything else. But that one is hot right now and still in like main bookstores. Did you? Nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong here. Nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong. Okay. And so in the bookstore, that book is going to be $28 if you don't get it at an elevated price because they're in high demand. This book on eBay right now is $20 all day long, and that was $1.59. So that was awesome. I love eBay. I love finding good things at the Goodwill and selling them online. I want to tell you, though, 4 reasons why I particularly love Goodwill. This is with sincerity and thoughtfulness that I share. The first thing that I love about Goodwill is their mission. Their mission isn't to get cheap goods to people. Their mission is to provide jobs for those people that are working there. They either have issues connected to holding down other jobs, or this is an opportunity for them to restart their career. And I know for a fact that that does happen. And those people that are there, some of them love that job and stay there, but some of them start there and then they also get tuition reimbursement from Goodwill and job training and are able to move on. And that mission, helping people help themselves to a better life, is very noble. And that's why I give them my money. And that is why that I also donate items to them. That is noble and it is good. That's the first reason. All right. The second reason is that Goodwill is professionally managed from the store level up. I mentioned that there are the people there, they get job training and all that. Their job training starts out being managing other people in the store, and they're trained to compassionately lead, and they're trained to offer guidance, not reprimands. And that's noble in itself, but that doesn't stop at just the store level. Really, it's true that area managers and even the top people in Goodwill corporate, they have a heart for this. They can make more money in the for-profit realm. They're doing this because they, like me, believe that it's a noble goal to help people help themselves. All right? If you've got questions about that, feel free to put them in the comments. I can defend this more and give you resources, of what I've looked for. And that is just true. Let me show you some of these other things from my last trip. I've got two more just in a second. This is the cool stuff. All right. The first is, and I've mentioned this before, I do like to keep religious materials from the landfill. And this is an interesting study Bible I found, the Complete Jewish Study Bible. It is an example of the religious literature that does sell the most, really niched down into a specific topic. The Complete Jewish Study Bible is another book that's at least $20, and I paid $1.59 for it. All right? To go on the other end of the scale, all right, got some VHSs. The first one is a VHS of the original Child's Play, and it's pretty great. It looks, as far as a movie, but also the condition of the box is pretty great. Paid $1.59 for it, and that's about $15. If you can see right here, you know what I'm getting ready to show you. Are you ready? Deep in the niches of campy 80s horror movies is Basket Case, and then Basket Case 2 and Basket Case 3, which we won't talk about. But these were right beside the Child's Play. This movie had enough of a following to make a sequel, and they made more of these. So this one itself is about a $15 movie. But this one, they didn't know what they were making when they made it. And this one is about $70 right now. So that was wonderful to find. Now, don't get me wrong. Those movies are crap, okay? But they have a strong following, which makes them in pretty high demand. So let's look at this. 70, and let's say, so 30 there, 20, I'm already 120. That one is 20, so 140 and 30. So that's 170 of what that's right there for. It'll take me about another half an hour or an hour, let's say. I'll be generous to myself and give myself a whole hour to list those. So it's an hour plus the hour it was to find the 2 visits that didn't result in anything, and then this treasure trove. So 170 by 2 hours is $60 an hour. Okay. And that was a bust because there were 2 visits that didn't happen. If they led to these results, that would have been 3 times that amount of $180 an hour. That could have happened. It was just the roll of the dice of what this happened. But I feel pretty cool owning a Basket Case VHS in pretty good condition. So much so that when they purchased it, somewhere along the way, it had the sticker out of print. They're not making VHSs anymore. Duh. All right. Let me tell you my two last reasons that I love Goodwill. I said that their primary mission is not to get things cheap, but as I've demonstrated, if you look, you will see undervalued items at Goodwill. I have no problem paying them $1.59 because that's the price that they have on them. If there was a shirt that I wanted that was undervalued at $7, it was a $40 shirt, I would have no problem giving them that because that's what they want. That's the price that they wanted for them. It is their organization. They can price what they want. But I still find lots of cheap things that I can turn over and sell on eBay. That's the third reason that I like. The last reason that I really like Goodwill is its name that I trust, and they are everywhere. You can, if you go to a metropolitan area in a good day, go to 4 different stores, and you've got 4 different community centers of local items that are given, as well as other regional sources that are giving to that store. So it's worth going to different stores just to get a feel for how it's run and what they actually uniquely provide. There's a store in Louisville that they go, and you've seen some on here, they've got a large bookshelf. I like that one. There are other ones that have large home goods areas. So I go there to look for new items. I don't spend much time there because they're not as lucrative. But I like to go to the different stores to get a feel for the different atmosphere at them and what they present and bring. So there you go. Do you agree? Do you think that those are good reasons to like Goodwill? Do you think that the bad outweighs the good? I do not. And do you think that $60 an hour is worth it doing something, spending 20 minutes a day doing? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments. I thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know if you have any questions, and click the like, share the love. Talk to you later.